What's going on, everybody? It's Coach Bronson here, and we are live. I'm supposed to be doing a of August, and we're get some of the former members, former participants in the last challenge into this live. Just having some technical difficulties, so as we work through that, I'm going to talk. The women that are going to hop on are over 40. The program that we did before was 8 weeks, and we introduced some nutrition guidelines following ketogenic, higher protein, lower fat than probably normal, and not the 70-30 that we're used to talking about when it comes to keto macros. All right, we got one person popping in. What's going on, Kathy?
Hello.
Hey, Kathy, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really good, really good. Let's see if anybody else hops in. We had 4 or 5 of you guys said that you were going to make it, but I know it was short notice. We just planned this just a few days ago to kind of get this thing going. So we'll see who can hop on. I'm glad you can make it. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. Sorry, it just took a few minutes. It was telling me my browser wouldn't support it.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging out.
So I was just kind of giving a recap of the program, talking about it was 8 weeks long. We did some nutrition stuff. We had some fitness programming that was part of the challenge. You could do a beginner program that was 3 days a week and body weight only. You could do the functional fitness program, which included some weights, barbell, some dumbbells and kettlebells, things like that. That was 5 days a week. But we only required that you do 3 days a week in the actual program. You had 5 days available if you wanted to do a couple extra days. So let's see here. I'm going to see. We got some people chatting. Teresa's on. What's going on, Teresa? Teresa, are you hopping in? Not sure. Nicole, what's going on? Well, so Kathy, since you seem to be the only one that can get in right now, I'm going to ask you all the questions.
Oh, goody. Okay, hold on just a second. I was trying to find where I put my glasses here.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I have adequate light. Sorry.
No, we're good.
So, okay.
An adventure in technology this evening. All right. So Kathy, tell us a little bit about yourself real quick. How old are you and why were you interested in doing the challenge when you first heard about it?
Okay. Well, I'm 57, doing the challenge because I really wanted to work on my body composition. And I had just been through, trying to cut my body fat down. So I really was interested in working on my diet and increasing my protein. So I was just interested in all of it.
Okay. I'm trying to hold on one second here. Adding people to apparently some people didn't get the right link. So you're almost 60. Oh my gosh.
Oh, right?
I just turned 50, so it's like, what?
I know. Only as old as you feel. So.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes I feel 80. I feel much better than that. So.
Yeah, feeling much better than that now, though, right? And we'll talk about some of the changes after doing the challenge and how you felt before versus after.
Yes.
When you first, Sarah, how you doing? Melissa. What's up, Melissa?
Finally, technical issues. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm late.
When this is done, I'm going to have to download it again and re-edit like the first 5 minutes out because it was kind of just dead air.
Totally.
That's okay. Gosh. Sarah, I see that you're on, but I can't see you or hear you. So that's okay. Melissa, Kathy was just telling us a little bit about her. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself? So and why you were interested in doing the challenge when you heard about it?
Sure. So hi, everybody. My name's Melissa. I'm 58, going on 59 years old this year. And I wanted to join the challenge in March to be honest, the real impetus was fitness and exercise. I had started my keto journey in February of 2021, and I had lost the majority of the weight that I wanted to lose. But I, for lack of a better word, I thought I was a little doughy. I was on my way to being skinny fat. And I knew that exercise was the next logical step, but I couldn't find my own motivation. And that's always been a challenge for me. And when I saw the announcement about the challenge, I jumped at the opportunity, and it changed my life. And here we are today.
Awesome.
So I went in with one idea, and I emerged a changed person.
Fantastic. Okay. And we'll talk about what that change was and how that happened as we go through this.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
We've got a couple of the people that are messaging me saying, how do I get in? So there may be people, if you're watching, there may be some other ladies hop in as we go. And if I look a little distracted, it's because I've got messages popping up with trying to get people in at the same time as we're talking. So, Kathy, let's go back to you real quick. So you had an expectation coming in, and
Sure.
Melissa just mentioned that, right? Her expectation was different than what it was and what happened and everything else. What was that?
Right.
What was that process for you? What did you expect going in versus what actually happened, or in your experience?
Well, I was expecting to see, like, I don't know if I thought that changes would happen. I found that the changes that I implemented, I was seeing, results, but then I started seeing after the challenge, continuing doing what I was doing. So I was very pleased with the results. I mean, I was losing body fat. I wasn't gaining a lot of muscle in the beginning, but I know it's a process. It won't happen overnight. So I knew that I wanted to feel more in control. I wanted to have a clear direction of where I wanted to go with my position, and I wanted to see that what I was doing, that I was actually getting the results that I wanted. I agree with Melissa. It really changed me. In just my, not only nutrition, but then the workouts, and just being more disciplined with myself. I'm pretty good about being disciplined. I've been doing, low carb, keto, carnivore now for almost 5 years, but it really helped me to understand how important it is to build the muscle, and to, keep trying harder, keep adding things in, keep working out, push. I really am pleased with the results.
Awesome. Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah, I heard that. Technical difficulties, but
That's okay. Everyone's having it. We're having an interesting evening this evening. So Kathy and Melissa were just giving us a little background on what they're, who they are, and kind of where they're at and what they were expecting with the challenge. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How old are you? Let's do this. How old are you? And what were you looking for when you started the challenge?
I'm 52. And I've been doing keto half years, pretty much on my own. So I'm in it for team aspect of everything, and the people they're doing or not doing, which I've learned since it's really helpful for me. If I have, like, on the app for that, I'm there and I'm doing, not that I've not been doing anything. It's just not the same. You feel the difference. Not doing these workouts every couple. But yeah,
Sarah, I think you're still having some technical difficulties. You're cutting in and out.
Am I?
Yeah. It's like every other word is in and out.
Okay.
While you figure that out,
I don't-
let's go ahead and go to Melissa real quick. Melissa, let's talk about when you got started with the challenge, because I know one of the questions people that are watching this are interested in doing the challenge, and one of the things that they're going to say is, I've never done anything before. I don't know what I'm doing. How, this is this going to be super hard? And
Oh,
there's an aspect of the unknown and just the past experience of maybe not having done fitness before and thinking that this is just a fitness challenge. We'll talk about what this challenge really is all about, because I think it's more than just fitness, and you guys can tell me what you think. But there is a fitness component, so that there is that fear there behind that. How was that starting for you?
okay. So for anyone who is a complete beginner or you haven't done anything in years, like myself, with the exception of walking, and I'm not discounting walking, but this fitness program is exactly what you need to be doing. It is turnkey. You have an expert here who has put together the perfect functional fitness program for you. It will meet you wherever you live. So that means whatever experience level you're at, novice to more experience like Kathy. Sarah, I'm not even sure what your level of experience was with exercise, but there you can be an absolute beginner and not know one thing about what to do, because the program is so with written instructions, video instructions. And I will just expose myself here. I had never done functional exercises like that before, ever. And again, from a beginner's perspective, don't be afraid of that. They're easy to learn. There's video examples. Your coach will show you the perfect form that you should aspire to. But believe me, a beginner is not expected to perform to that level, and I didn't. And as a matter of fact, it's months later, and I still some of the exercises. I'm happily in the beginner program, and I probably will be there for quite some time because I can still grow with it. I can do things to make it more challenging for myself, and I'm in no rush. So if anyone is afraid of the unknown, believe me, exercises and learn them and improve, you can too. Just
Yeah.
do what your coach tells you to do, and you won't
Yeah, I
do
agree with
anything
that.
wrong.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight. It took you some time, right? Well, you
Absolutely.
started it. It probably took you. How long did it take you? Because you get an app on your phone, and I know there's also a learning curve with how to use the app and stuff like that. Did that,
For
Kathy?
me, the app itself was easy.
Yeah.
But I have an IT background, so it was fine. It was easy for me to use. But again, if you're not familiar with the technology, you're not going to break anything by going in there and trying to figure out anything. You're not going to
Right.
break it. Just go
Right.
in and just mouse around or click around, and you'll figure it out. And if you have questions, ask the group or ask Coach Bronson. He's extremely responsive and he will help you. And there's also tutorials, like he'll bring you through exactly step by step on YouTube. So that's easy to figure out. The exercises themselves, I don't know if you remember, but when we did our last call, there were some in there. I couldn't do one in the beginning during benchmarking. I couldn't do one. And I didn't put myself down because I wasn't used to it. I just didn't give up. Every single day I worked on that particular exercise a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And then by the end of the 8-week program, I could do 20 of them in the benchmark.
Awesome.
Could other
Awesome.
people do many more than that? 100%. But there's no shame in anyone's game. It's all about what you do for yourself to improve your program.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's an improvement. And I saw that with the other exercises too.
Okay. Kathy, you had mentioned that you've been doing keto for a while when you started. What was different about the nutrition plan than maybe what you had been doing before?
Just really focusing on quit protein and prioritizing that, because keto is typically, and I had learned through my different phases of cutting and then reverse diet of a maintenance situation with my macros. I had learned that I respond really well. So I've continued that, even beyond the challenge. And I feel so much better, really good for me. And so that to me was a revelation before the challenge. And I really started to embrace that more. And it doesn't mean that I'm not still have a decent amount of fat in my diet, but I just really prioritize the protein. Impressed with the results, not only from the challenge, but then beyond, my ability and muscle growth and everything. I mean, the percentages to me as a woman might feel like, wow, this is amazing, and I feel really good. And I see the results not only in my measurements, but just in photos and, all of that. Prioritizing protein for me was really a big game changer. And you really, really emphasized that. And I continue to embrace it now.
Good. Okay, cool. Sarah, let's try out your sound again real quick. Say the ABCs.
I think A, B, C. Did you get them all?
I only got A, C, and D.
Seriously?
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so Kathy, Melissa, Sarah, if we can get thumbs up or thumbs down, we'll use visual cues for you if you're agreeing with the stuff that Sarah and Kathy are saying until we can figure out what's going on with your sound.
Yeah.
There we go. Everything's good. All right. So Kathy, talk a little bit about when you got started. How long did it take you to kind of get into a flow? So we're doing the next challenge that we're going to be running starting at the end of August is going to be 10 weeks because I felt like there was a couple weeks of kind of just getting everybody into a groove and we ended too soon. Like we did an 8-week challenge and I feel like most of you were all like, man, if we only had a couple more weeks. So we decided to go 10 weeks for the next one. Do you think that'll help out, like that first couple of weeks, getting into a groove, understanding how everything works and finding a routine?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that because I think that it did, even though, again, the exercise program and such, I was familiar with a lot of it. I've done your program before. I've just been working out for quite a long time in many, different aspects. So I was familiar. There were still things that were challenging for me, and I had to really work through those and get through really start focusing on my goals. And so I agree. I think that additional 2 weeks, you've hit your stride and you're starting to see changes and results. And you're like, wait, it's already over. So yeah, because that's when, truthfully for me, even more gains during that time. I think my body was kind of like going, oh, wow, what are you continuing to do this? So my body was rewarding me during, in that time. It just better. So.
Okay. Melissa, talk real quick, if you would, a little bit about, oh, hold on. Andrea's in. Let me pop her back in. Andrea, can you hear us? Can we hear you? Say the alphabet. No, we can't hear you. All right. Well, just hang in there. You can do thumbs up or thumbs down with Sarah. You guys can be the thumbs up, thumbs down crowd. If you agree with something that Kathy and Melissa are saying, just do a peace sign or something. There you go. I love it. Melissa, can you talk a little bit about your experience through the things that weren't fitness or nutrition related? Like there was a process and there were some things. I know we had some really good group calls because we got just in case anybody's interested, we got as part of the program, we're gonna get on a call once a week with everybody that's in your group. So we kind of talk about what's going on, go over some topics, answer some questions, kind of help people stay on track, things like that. So a lot of good stuff comes out of those conversations. It's a safe space. It's a space where I want you to be open and ask questions and not be afraid if you're struggling with something or having a challenge. What was that experience like for you, Melissa?
It's community. I find that when you get a group of like-minded people with their own individual goals, but working in the same challenge or program with, ultimately the same goal of improving, right? Improving your health, improving your life, that it really helps and you can bounce ideas off each other. In the Facebook group, we were sharing a lot of well, I wasn't because my food's boring, but there were some beautiful photos of food and recipes and, inspiration and things like that. So community, another real, cornerstone, I think, of the program. And me, that was huge, which is really where the big change for me came, was the mindset, Coach Bronson. It was, and we talked about this a little bit towards the end, and we were all kind of sharing around, I'll speak for myself. I've been a professional dieter my whole adult life. I've been a roller coaster, up and down dieter. So I've been successful and unsuccessful, successful and unsuccessful. And that whole idea of weight loss and losing weight and, having to exercise, run laps or whatever to lose some, burn some calories. That aspect of the challenge, your whole philosophy is not focusing on that. It's shifting one's focus to building and improving and increasing. And that I cannot find the language really. That to me lifted such a burden, and it helped me, I believe, for myself, establish the habit of fitness and exercise and aligned it with that philosophy of building, improving, oh God, I have to do these, push-ups so I can lose some weight on the scale.
Right.
I don't think about it like that anymore. That's a revelation.
That's
Whole
awesome.
life, I've never thought about it that way. So
that's awesome.
If I would ask, or just, suggest that ladies that are in the program to really embrace that part of it. I feel like if you're anything like me, it will really, really take that albatross off your back, and you can just do things that'll serve your goals of improving the quality of your life.
Yeah, I remember that last conversation we had right before the end. One of the topics that came up was don't be afraid to try to do more, right? That a lot of you were surprising yourself by like, wait, you know what? I'm going to go a little heavier. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. And you did it. And it was like, wait a second. I didn't think I could do that. Right. Did you have any of that, Kathy? Was there any of that for you?
Definitely, because in the beginning, and I, here's my caveat. I hurt myself in the benchmark week. So that I limited myself because I pushed myself a little harder, but that's me. I tend to do that kind of stuff. And so, I got hurt through that. I had to find other things, and you provided modifications, and you helped me with that. And I continued to, and then, boy, was I surprised at how much not only that I could do, and like Melissa was talking about, you're just like, wow, your only competition really is encouraging each other. So it wasn't a competition with anybody else on the app. It was really me versus me. So that, to me, again, just the way that we were able to, and you helped us with modifications if needed and that kind of thing. It just, to me, another level. And it really has helped me to continue that path I'm on. I want to be the best that I can be. I want to, improve my strength, my mobility. So, and we all have limitations. We all have things where we can't maybe do everything. If one time you can only do it once, like Melissa said, and the next time you can do it 5 times. And we all had those victories. So yeah, it again, an amazing experience, as well as the other participants too.
Awesome. Hold on one second. So continue on that thought, Kathy. What is some of the other victories? I know one of the things that I talk about, and we definitely had a process of working through over the whole 8 weeks, was looking at other things besides the scale. What are some of the things you learned that can show progress that have nothing to do with how much you weigh?
Too, and I took photos, and I did that on purpose. Being somebody who all of my life, from the time I was like in grade school, and progressing to a very adult, pictures and stuff. Yeah, I don't feel real comfortable in front of the camera. Pictures, and I took measurements, and that was huge. I mean, the scale, I kept mine, and I really enjoy it because I like seeing my progress, just the weight on the scale. But there were just things that, in terms of just in the way that I felt and just the progress for capability, that was huge for me. So being able to see my muscle mass, and just seeing, basically, I know BMI and BMR, that can be real subjective. They kind of impress you a little bit, because you're like, oh well, it looks like I've gained more, a little bit more, according to what the data is telling me. But then just the measure, huge for me. At one point, one of my measurements, my hip measurement from my heaviest, I had lost, like, overall, of course not in the challenge, but my whole process, 26 inches off of my hips.
Wow.
And it was like the lowest measurement that my hips have been, literally, in years and years and years. I almost cried. I was like, what? I had to measure myself again. So looking at photos, it's huge. You really want to do that, no matter what. No matter you do the challenge, I say fully embrace the whole thing, and just remember that number doesn't reflect all the changes that you're going to see or that you feel. It's
okay. That's awesome. That's crazy. The lowest you've ever been in years.
In literally in my whole, I would say, almost my whole adult life. Just seriously, I told my husband, I said, wait, measure again. Believing it. I was like, what?
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so absolutely over the moon about that. And again, it's, to me, it's all about strength and mobility. That's what I'm aiming for, is just really good health. But that was
so
that's to me.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And I'm going to ask Melissa the same thing. And Sarah, you raised your hand too. Me too. I lost a lot too. And if you guys could all just give me a thumbs up or nod your head, or Melissa, maybe you can talk on this a little bit more. Is at any point in time during the 8 weeks, did we focus on fat loss? Did we focus on weight loss?
No.
Right. What was our focus was on building and getting stronger and being able to do more things. Right. But you're saying that in that process, right, you guys lost a ton of fat. You guys lost size. You guys got toned. You got tighter. All those things happened, right? Because that's how it works. That's fantastic.
That's exactly.
How small did you get, Melissa?
This is the smallest I've been in my entire adult life.
Wow.
I've lost, let's see. Well, I have it all written down here, but I don't have it memorized. But I lost, I want to say, 9 overall inches in the 8-week challenge.
Wow.
Yeah, just in the 8-week challenge. And since the challenge ended, so the last 2 months, I've lost 3.5 more inches.
Wow.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, I hate to say it, but I keep needing to buy new clothes. Just when I think I've settled in to a size, I have to, darn.
Shucks.
Right? Sugar. I guess I have to go shopping again.
Yeah.
But yes, all of that great stuff happened. Yes.
Okay.
But it wasn't, believe me, lifelong dieter here, where all I ever focused on was that number.
Yeah.
It wasn't about that. And again, that's part of the shift in mindset that is so absolutely freeing. Yes, we used our in-body scales on a weekly basis. We got the scale weight, but we were really looking at skeletal muscle and body fat and changing those and looking for trends in increasing skeletal muscle and trends in body fat. Not looking at it, what I did this week in terms of measuring success. It's all about the trend, which again is very different in standard diet culture to approach that way.
Right. Did any of you through this process, you've lost over 12 inches. Kathy, how many inches did you say you lost?
I think I'll have to go back and think it was about 6 inches, if I'm not mistaken. And then I lost and I had gained at least, I believe, about 2 pounds of muscle, and then like 5 pounds of muscle. So that for me is huge.
Yeah.
That is what I, not so much because the body fat, like I said, I know that's just body recomposition, and I get that, but muscle gains.
Yeah. Well, there's another aspect. Here's another aspect to the challenge of one of the reasons why this mindset and this approach is so cool is not only are the results fantastic, how did you feel throughout the process? Was there hunger? Was there lack of energy? Was there all of the things we talk about when we know? So Melissa, you're a professional dieter. How many diets have you been on that felt great?
Absolutely none. I was losing in my career. I did the tried and true, counting points. I see what program I'm talking about here, where we were taught to make things like graham cracker and fat-free Cool Whip sandwiches for food. So I lost stuff, but I also lost some hair. I looked terrible. I was skinny, but I wasn't healthy. To the point where my own physician said, "Ooh, you're too skinny." But guess what? I'm lighter now.
Yeah.
With was back then eating non-food.
Right.
With this way of eating, and I sort of label myself a ketovore. I'm mainly meat-based. I do like the occasional olive. I do like the occasional salad when we're out, just as anything, not because lettuce is any great shakes, but I just enjoy it. But I am never hungry.
Yeah.
My family is amazed when they see my plate. When they're like, "You gonna eat all that?" I'm like, you bet I am. I'm eating, and I wanted to touch on the macros. Another part of this program that I absolutely love, and again, it is not a one size fits all. So we don't talk percentage here. We base our own individual macros on makeup. So your own lean body mass, and you start with, so it's personalized. So that's a great starting point. And then you can work with the coach and figure it out. Try to stay consistent though. Don't mess around too much. Consistency is key. Yeah. Trust the process. But it's not, we're going to give you this many calories and this percentage of it should be your carbs and fat. No. Because that approach, it doesn't work.
It doesn't
This is
work.
individualized. That's what I really, really enjoy. And then, still pretty much eating the same macros as I did on the program, even 2 months later, because
Mhm.
it was serving me very well,
Yeah.
serving me very well. In my keto journey, I had reached a point at the beginning of the challenge where I wasn't losing anymore, but I wasn't gaining. I was. So now I feel like I know what that feels like when I'm
Yeah.
ready to go there, right? But I'm still now in the macros specific to my body composition, and it's still working.
Awesome. Okay. Kathy, the process of learning, what are some of the things that you learned that may have been different or that you've taken with you post challenge?
Well, like I said before, rising my protein just in terms of food, and that just
Mhm.
solidified, my thought that thing for me. But just the thought that everything, of course, was Melissa said. So I had to really focus on me, and I realized because I was a little nervous, maybe I'd like a little more fat. No, I was fine, and I felt so. I always felt really good. I felt like my food was appropriate for me.
Mhm.
I really did, and I still do. Nothing makes me happier than a nice plate. So like beef, I enjoy it so much that will primarily make up, so now even, I'll have eggs and I'll have some kind of beef or some type of meat. You it's me too because again, I mean, I've been low carb and such, but just the craving for the proper nutrients for my body, that was really important for me. And just knowing building muscle, and I know it's more challenging. I mean, I have hormones and different things that make those kind of things challenging, and all of us do. But I could do more than I thought I could. The food was fine for me. It was nutritionally, and I just felt really good during the whole process. I just
Okay.
felt like, wow, this is something that I thought it was, and I'm not saying it just really helped me feel like this is the way I need to go. This is the way I need to go as I do this, and I need to progress and grow. So I just thought it would be harder to stick to. So good that it was not as hard as I thought. Challenging, yes. So
Yeah. Yeah. Challenging is good for sure. So I feel like one of the questions I was going to ask towards the end of this talk was, where are you now, kind of a thing. Like, you finished, it's been several weeks now since we finished. Where are you now? But you both have already said that you've continued on basically following the same kind of routine, and it's been working for you. You've lost, you gained additional muscle, you gained additional functionality in what your body can do. You've lost more body fat. You're getting smaller and smaller. Like, everything is still progressing. So you've taken everything that you learned in the challenge and you've turned it into a lifestyle, which is an aspect I know we definitely talked about during the 8 weeks. Was this isn't 8 weeks and done, right? So I'm assuming both of you can say that there's something that happened to kind of say, look, this is how I'm living my life from now on. This isn't just I'm going to do this and be finished, and hopefully things stay without me having to do this anymore, right? Like, what was, either one of you guys can take that one and run with it.
No,
go ahead.
absolutely. I never expected that to happen. I hoped that it would. I really did, because I do understand. I mean, we understand the value of fitness in our lives. But the one thing that I learned, and I like, being in IT, I kind of like to know the mechanisms around things, or why things work the way they do. And just the very simple information that you provide, coach, around do the essential movements, the squats, the lunges, and applying that to everyday life. And I'm like, oh, dang, if that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, Melissa, you must do 25 squats as fast as you can forever because I told you to. In other words, you're explaining why we're using these functional exercises and connecting it again to the overall message, which is being able to use the squatting motion to sit down in your chair and get up unassisted,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. And I heard that and it got in. It sounds very simple and elementary, I think, even as I'm saying it out loud. But when you're myself, always associating exercise with losing weight, assigning it to have a higher value, that it will help you stay independent in your life, in your later years.
yes,
It will help you be able to not need assistance to do X, Y, and Z. It was an epiphany, honestly, and I think I said it in one of the calls. I was like, dang it, that makes too much sense. Now I know, and I have connected the two. And for the first time now, this is something I wanted to mention. In my old life, stress management was I used food medication. Okay, I used bad things. I did bad things, which is a part of my history. If there was work stress, gotta eat. Happiness, stress, gotta eat. I was experiencing, it's true though, but I was experiencing some pretty bad work stress, just normal work stuff. And for the first time in my life, I thought to myself, oh my God, I've got to go work out to relieve the stress. I'm going to email you, but I didn't.
Who are you?
I know. I said that. I literally said, oh my God, I've got to go, OMG, I've got to work out. And when I said it to myself, and I was like, oh my God, it would have been, that's a true story. And
that's awesome.
That is a true story. So again, if anyone's listening that is new to exercise, or you've been on a break like myself, and you need a reason, a connection, just try to think about it in a different way. And maybe it'll resonate with you too. And maybe I've worked out 3 days a week, just like I did on the challenge, every week, not because I have to, but because I get to. I'm able to. And I know that when I do it, I still don't love doing it. I mean, lunges, it's, what I used to call them.
Yeah.
But I'm always happy that I can do it. And I'm really happy at the end that I did it. And yeah. I showed up for myself, because I showed up for myself. I'm only helping myself. In the challenge, I was showing up for myself too, but I wanted to show up for the challenge because I committed to it. But it quickly was my own motivation. So I found the motivation that I needed through this program.
That's awesome. Thank you, Melissa. Let's end up with this. I'm going to ask each of you one question. Kathy, if there was one thing that you could tell people that are interested in the challenge that would make them decide to do it, what would it be?
Beginning, just do it. You are more capable than you think you are. It'll change you not only up here, but physically, emotionally, a package. So don't think, oh, this is going to be too hard. Oh, this is going to be too much. Focus on taking care of yourself. That was the other thing I was going to say too, is that it's on our sleep as well. That helped me a lot. It's changed my sleep hygiene tremendously, been huge for me as well, not only in stress management, but just in, just every day feeling, there's so many phases of it. There's so many things that you learn about yourself along the way. Just do it. You will be so grateful when you're done. You will just be amazed at what you learn and how much you can do, how capable you are, and how much farther you can. Basically, the sky's the limit.
Yes.
Just do it.
It is awesome.
Just do it.
Thank you, Kathy. Melissa, what about you? What's the one thing you would tell somebody who's looking at this to say you have to do it and why?
You're worth it.
Ooh.
That's it. You are worth it.
Can't get more. And you're absolutely right. That's all there is to it.
That's it. Period.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Melissa. Kathy, Melissa, thank you. For those that tried to get in and popped out, Sarah, Andrea, anybody else that was trying to get in, thanks for trying. I'll have to see what's going on with the platform I'm using here and see if we can make it work better next time. For anybody that's watching, I just remind you that this Friday, so today is Wednesday, so 2 more days, the actual interest call, which is going to be another streaming live. It's going to be me going over the details of the next challenge. So if you're interested, if you have questions, get on that call. I'll put a link in the description of this video in the comments or whatever, so everyone has access to when that link is, or where that link is. I think it's next Friday at 7 or 8 o'clock. I got the details somewhere. I'll post all that information. But it'll be just walking through the details of the challenge, how it's all going to work. I believe registration for the challenge is open now, and it ends at the end of the week. So I think Saturday or Sunday, I'll put out the exact time. I may extend it just to Monday morning. We'll see. For registration for the next challenge, you can go to ultimateketogenicfitness.com/challenge to get all the information. Information about the next live stream on Friday is there, as well as there will be links to the replay of this and everything else. So thank you very much for being on, guys. I appreciate it. I will see you on Friday's call. And if you're already in the Facebook group for the challenge, because there is a group Facebook just for challenge participants. If you join the challenge, you will be in the group with these ladies, and they will help you, and they will be there to support you along the way. So
anytime, reach out.
Anytime.
Use your community. We're here for you.
Here for you, definitely. And you're worth it. Like Melissa.
You are absolutely worth it. I look forward to seeing everybody on Friday. And then as we go, whoever joins the challenge, we'll be there to help you guys out. So take it easy. Thank you much for being on. Appreciate it.
Go get it, ladies.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye-bye.